In the heart of a dimly lit art gallery, shrouded in shadows and silence, hung a painting that chilled the souls of all who gazed upon it. It was a macabre masterpiece, an exquisite work of art that transcended the boundaries of the human imagination, and yet, it was tainted by an unspeakable darkness. The painting depicted a desolate landscape, a moonless night over a decrepit graveyard, where tombstones jutted from the earth like crooked teeth, and skeletal trees clawed at the heavens. But it was the figure in the foreground that drew a spectral woman, her eyes hollow and mournful, her skin ashen and translucent. Her long, ebony hair hung like a shroud, and her tattered white gown billowed around her like a ghostly mist. This haunting image was the creation of Victor Marquand, an artist whose reputation for the macabre was legendary. He had painted the mourning maiden during a period of profound grief, shortly after the tragic death of his beloved wife, Isabella. The painting was a reflection of his anguish, a manifestation of his sorrow, and, as he would later discover, a vessel for an unspeakable evil. The art gallery, nestled in the heart of a bustling city, had acquired the mourning maiden through an auction. Victor had sold it reluctantly, unable to bear the constant reminder of his loss. The painting, however, seemed to have a will of its own. It demanded attention, and those who dared to look into the mournful eyes of the spectral figure were ensnared by its malevolent grip. The first to fall victim to the painting's curse was the gallery owner, Mr. Langley. He had been captivated by the mourning maiden from the moment it arrived in his gallery. Unable to resist its pull, he took up residence in the gallery's back room, never leaving the side of the painting. His employees whispered about his erratic behavior, his sleepless nights, his descent into madness, and his incessant mutterings about the weeping woman in the canvas. One fateful night, as a storm raged outside, Mr. Langley's cries echoed through the gallery's empty halls. Employees rushed to his side, only to find him in a state of catatonia, his eyes fixed upon the cursed painting. He mumbled incoherently about the mourning maiden, her lamentations, and the darkness that threatened to consume him. He was committed to a mental institution, never to return to his beloved gallery. The gallery, now under new management, tried to rid itself of the mourning maiden. It was removed from the wall and placed in storage, but it refused to be forgotten. Night after night, the spectral figure haunted the dreams of the gallery's employees, whispering promises of solace and torment. One by one, the employees succumbed to the painting's malevolence. They became obsessed with it, unable to tear themselves away from its cursed gaze. They stopped eating, stopped sleeping, and abandoned their families and friends. The gallery's once thriving business withered, and its doors closed for the last time. Desperation led the new owner to seek out Victor Marquand, the reclusive artist responsible for the cursed masterpiece. Victor had been living in seclusion, tormented by the knowledge that his grief had given birth to something monstrous. He agreed to visit the gallery, but only on the condition that the painting be destroyed. When Victor arrived at the gallery, he was met with a scene of utter madness. The employees, now gaunt and hollow-eyed, stood in a circle around the mourning maiden, chanting in a language unknown to Victor. Their voices were filled with anguish, their bodies writhing in agony. With trembling hands, Victor approached the painting. He could feel its malevolence, its hunger for his suffering. As he raised a knife to slash the canvas, the spectral figure in the painting seemed to come to life. The mournful eyes met his, and a sinister smile crept across its lips. A deafening shriek filled the gallery as the painting fought back. It sent a shockwave of energy that knocked Victor to the ground. The employees, their faces contorted with agony, lunged at him, their hands grasping for his throat. Victor fought back, slashing at the cursed canvas with his knife, but it was as if the painting itself was invulnerable. In the chaos that ensued, a fire broke out in the gallery, devouring the cursed masterpiece and everything in its path. The employees, their eyes filled with terror, fled the inferno, their obsession with the painting finally broken. Victor managed to escape as well, though he would forever bear the scars of his encounter with the possessed painting. The gallery burned to the ground that night, reduced to ashes and embers. The Mourning Maiden was destroyed, its curse broken, but the memory of its malevolence would haunt Victor Marquand for the rest of his days. He could never escape the knowledge that his grief had given rise to something monstrous, something that had nearly consumed him and all who had come into contact with it. As for the charred remains of the gallery, they became the stuff of legend, a cautionary tale told in hushed whispers by those who believed in the existence of the supernatural. And in the heart of the city, where the gallery had once stood, an empty lot remained, a solemn reminder of the darkness that could lurk within the world of art and the human soul.